guys, good morning. Allie from Farm to School. Today we're gonna do eggs two ways. So usually I can guess that you guys know how to make scrambled eggs, but today I'm gonna teach you how to make the perfect hard-boiled egg and then how to flip a fried egg. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with our hard-boiled eggs. The key to this I learned working in restaurants. So you have your pot, okay? We're gonna go ahead and put in our eggs. So I'm gonna do, I think 6 eggs. Set them down gently so they don't crack, okay? And then we're gonna fill it up with water. Okay, so as you can see, I have my eggs in there with my water. I'm gonna do one more because I have space right there to do it, okay? And I'm not really sure how we perfected this, but we did, so that we get a nice yellow yolk and it doesn't get gray. That's what we want to prevent. So when we have this in here, we're gonna take actually some white wine vinegar and we're gonna put a little bit of that in the water, just a little splash. Can't really mess it up with how much vinegar. As long as you have more water to vinegar, you'll be safe, okay? And then we're also gonna take some salt and put that in the water. So a nice, generous tablespoon. Okay, so let's get this going. Okay, so I'm gonna put it on medium high to high heat. So I'll see if I can show you this here. So this is my heat. This would be high for this burner, and then this would be low. So I want it on a medium high heat. So I have numbers, it's like a 6 to 7, okay? And then the next thing I'm gonna do is put a lid on it. So I need it to cook like this, and I'm gonna set a timer for 15 minutes. So while our eggs are boiling, we're gonna go ahead and make a fried egg. All right, so let me move you a little closer so you can see. Okay, here you go. Okay, so we have our pan here. Usually what I like to use is a non-stick pan. This is a really old one. I've had it since college, but it's my favorite one to make fried eggs because it's similar to what we would use in a restaurant, and I feel like they're just made to do this. I'm gonna move that out of the way. You could also use a cast iron skillet, but then you're probably gonna need a spatula or something to kind of help you flip it, because with I like to be able to flip it like this, and if I have a cast iron, I'm not gonna be able to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the heat on. All right, pretty solid heat. Okay, so it's about medium to medium high, but it's pretty solid there. Okay, and we're gonna start heating up the pan because we want it to get nice and warm. Okay, while that's heating up, I'm gonna put a solid scoop of butter in there. I prefer to use butter with my fried eggs because of the flavoring, okay? Could you use olive oil? Absolutely. Could you use canola oil? You could, but it's not your best choice. And flavor-wise, butter is just gonna taste better. So we just wanna make sure that we're coating all the sides of the pan. See how a little bit on the side? We know it might come up the side, so we just wanna make sure it gets a good amount of butter so that when we crack our egg into it, it doesn't stick to the sides. Bring over my compost bucket for my eggshell. Okay, see how it's bubbling there? That means we're pretty much ready to go. That means the butter is hot enough that we're ready to crack an egg into it. I can feel the heat of the pan, it's pretty warm. So we're gonna take our egg, okay? I personally like to crack it on the counter. It's easier than the side of the pan. And then get that going in there. The eggshells I crunch, and I put them in my compost. And then I wash my hands. So as that's cooking, you're gonna hear it start bubbling. I'm gonna wash my hands. as you can see, I can move my egg around. That's what we want. That's gonna make it easier to flip. So when we talk about sunny side up, this would be we're almost a sunny side up egg, but you don't flip it, okay? We would want to cook the white parts around the egg right here, around the yolk. We want to cook that a little more for a sunny side up egg. I like a nicely fried egg, so I like over easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip this, okay? It's all in the wrist, and you don't want it to go too high, all right? So you can see that it's not too brown back here. You could still eat it if it was, but the browner it gets, the more the yolk is gonna cook, and then we're gonna move from over easy to over medium to over hard. So an over hard would be a fully cooked egg, but in this shape versus like a scrambled egg. So it's been cooking a little bit, and then I start to shake it. I wanna make sure it doesn't stick, okay? For me, like, this is almost done. This is almost done. I like mine really, really runny yolk. You see how much you can move that? That's over easy. So I'm gonna make a piece of toast with an avocado for this, but for now, I'm gonna turn off the heat because this is just where I like it, and I'm gonna put it on a plate. I'm then going to add a teeny pinch of salt for flavor, and a teeny pinch of pepper. Okay, so let's take a fork and a knife here, and I'll show you guys how we want the egg to look for an over easy egg. All right, see how it goos out like that? That's a perfect egg if you want over easy. It should be super runny. I particularly like it like this. I think it adds really good flavor. There's a lot of choline in the egg that helps with brain development, and for me, like, this on a piece of avocado toast is a perfect little breakfast. Okay, so they're boiling pretty well, which is okay. We have about 5 minutes left. Just keep the lid on, and we're gonna get an ice bath together for when these are done. Okay, so our timer just went off. We're gonna make an ice bath. So we're gonna use cold water and pour it in a bowl here. And then we're gonna use some ice. I need a little bit more than that. That looks good. All right, what this does is help stop the cooking of the eggs. So I'm gonna turn that off and take the lid off. It might be hot, so you might need use an oven mitt. And then we're gonna use a slotted spoon so that we don't take out any of the water. We wanna leave the hot water there. And we're gonna put them directly into the ice bath. So they've been cooking for 15 minutes. This ice bath is gonna help stop the cooking versus just leaving them like this, sitting. Even if they were out of the water, they're gonna continue to cook from the heat that's in the shell that's keeping that in there. Okay, so I'm gonna put that in the ice bath and let it finish cooking so that we have a perfect yellow yolk. If you like your hard-boiled eggs warmer, you could just wait a couple minutes and they'll be ready to go. I like them cold and I store them in the fridge, so I'm gonna give it a few minutes. Okay, so I think our eggs are ready. Remember earlier we put some vinegar and some salt in the boiling water? So another reason we do that is because it should help the shell peel a little easier. So go ahead and tap that on your plate and let's see how this goes. So it should help just with bigger chunks versus like all those little tiny pieces where they get stuck because there's this little membrane. See that little membrane? So you want it to be able to get bigger pieces at once. Hard-boiled eggs are a great snack you can make ahead of time because it takes 15 minutes. I don't usually make them the day that I want them. I make them like at night, the day before, and then I store these all in a bowl in my fridge. Okay, and then we're gonna open it to see what the yolk looks like. All right, so look at that. No gray, which is awesome, okay? If I opened it right now, these have only been sitting for about 5 minutes. If I opened it right now, we would already be able to see some of the gray forming on the yolk if I had overcooked them. They're still totally safe to eat. I just, excuse me, particularly don't think it's as good of a flavor. But this is what I like. A soft-boiled egg would have it be runny in the middle. I don't so much care for that. I do want it hard-boiled. As these sit in the water a little bit longer, it's going to finish that cooking process so that these will all be like the outside of the yolk here, where it's like that nice creamy yellow color, which we want to make it be that perfect hard-boiled egg.